Hi everyone, welcome back to Barbie Dolls of the Week. So this week I've got 3 dolls I want to show you for different reasons, but two of them, the last two of the three that I'm going to show you, are really kind of grand Barbies, and I've wanted really both of them for quite a long time. And over the last few months I got some good deals on them. One of them I got at the doll show I went to in Cincinnati in late April from my doll friend Justin. And then the first doll today that I'm going to show you, I just got from eBay. And I have to say that for years I wasn't very fond of, especially the early 90s, maybe even most of the 90s, holiday Barbies. They're just so overdone in a way, and I wasn't fond of them. But for some reason they've been growing on me lately. I don't know why. So I saw this doll for, I think I got it for $5. And of course shipping too, which was maybe $4 something. So I still think it was a good deal. And I want to show you this holiday Barbie that I've never had or seen in person that I can remember out of the box. I still don't have one in the box, that's fine, but she's so, even though she's from 92, Holiday Barbie 92, I think she's almost 80s. She reminds me of, with all these big shoulder, poofy shoulders, and these jewels coming off. Look at her earrings. They're matching, the jewels that are hanging from her outfit, which I think are just kind of really cool. And yes, it's a bit garish, a bit overdone, well, definitely overdone, but somehow I like it. I don't know why, especially for such a cheap price. So just say $10 total. I think that's a really nice doll for $10. And I mean, look at that face. That's a classic Barbie face from the early 90s, as I said. And the dress, not my favorite, but it's interesting, I'll say that. And it's definitely fitting of the rest of the dress. And I mean, the bottom half, it fits the top half. It's got this poofy part on the sides, and then it's got the long droopy part that goes with it, or maybe it's not droopy, but something like that. And when you take that up, it's got the Jiffy Pop popcorn kind of top on it, where they used to have them in the pans for the top of the stove. The only thing she's missing is her ring, which I don't know what her ring looked like off the top of my head, but probably something similar to the rest of the jewelry and the jewels hanging from her. Her hair is still pretty good. I did wash it overnight and did a little brushing to it, but I like the two-tone hair she's got. Maybe it's 3 tones. So it looks good, and I like the style that they had her hair in, which is, I think this is still pretty close to the original, and it's kind of sleek looking like that. So I like that, and I think I'll keep it like that. So I just had to find a place for her, and also a stand that works well with her, because I tried her on one particular stand, and it didn't work well. The fabric, can really affect certain kinds of stands, so. What do you all think of this doll from 1992, and also, all her jewels on her outfit, and the outfit in general? I'd be curious to hear what others think. Okay, so that's the first doll I want to show you. Now, the second 2 dolls, I got them, as I said, not at the same time, different times, but they both came in their shipper box, and, they're not new dolls, so it's amazing they still had the boxes. I'll show you the first one I got first, which is the one I got back at the doll show in April in Cincinnati, April 26th, I think it was. And I bought this from Justin, who had a booth or table there. And so here's the box. There's the shipper box, but then the doll's box, if this gives you any hint about who it is. This is a Bob Mackie doll, so that's the very ornate box. And here's who it is. It's Mackie's Neptune Fantasy Barbie. So now I'm going to attempt to take her out. It's not that hard, but you have to be careful. And I don't want to rip the box that's been all these years. Which, by the way, let me see what the date on here is. 90. Oh, it's also 92, so same box date, at least, of that Holiday Barbie. So let's see what this looks like. I took it out once so far. Of course, I've seen this doll for many years in pictures, but I don't know that I had ever seen it in person. And so here she is in this box that she came in. And I mean, isn't she just stunning? I guess Justin was just downsizing a bit because I'm sure it's not that he doesn't like this doll, but maybe he's kind of wanting to do more simple looks. I don't know exactly why he was selling her. It could have been an extra, who knows. But I'm just glad I was able to get her for a good price, and he gave me a more than fair deal, I think. So thank you, Justin. And look at her hair. It's got some green in it, too. I mean, I guess one of the things I like about Bob Mackie is the sort of flamboyance of his designs and it's just, you know, more than the average anything. Could you imagine Bob Mackie designing for a fashionista doll in today's world? I mean, yeah, no. I mean, you'd have to have a $100 fashionista that actually had a good fashion. But yeah, look at this. And she obviously comes with a stand, I believe. I'm not seeing it right now, but I'm sure there's one in here. She's got green shoes. You know, the back of the dress, which is velvet, has this dark green that you see right here. And inside is this kind of like emerald green. Like this would go great in Emerald City in Wizard of Oz, this inside part. And, of course, sequins galore on the dress. Look at the bodice and the wing-like or flame-like part. See, this is the bodice part I'm talking about. It's actually got very ornate stuff on it. I'm just stunned by this doll and how beautiful it is. I always thought it looked beautiful, but I never owned it until, you know, April 26th. And so I'm glad to have found that and to went ahead and spent the money on it because it was worth it. And I'm going to treasure this for as long as I absolutely can. So it goes with my other Bob Mackie, like Grand Masquerade, Goddess of the Moon, Goddess of the Sun, Queen of Hearts, and of course the Emerald, or the Diamond Essence collection, or Jewel Essence collection. Those 5 dolls. So years ago I never had Bob Mackie. It just wasn't in my budget, and it was expensive at the time. Like, I don't know how much this doll was when it first came out. Does anybody know that? By the way, if you do, put that in the comments for me, please. But I'm gonna guess it was at least $100. I don't know. I paid under that, so I feel like I got a really good deal. And like I said, to have this box, plus the shipper, which, when it was displayed on his table, it was in this, but he had the shipper, and he asked me if I wanted it. At first I said no, because I had a lot that I was already taking with me, but it needed to go in some box, so actually it made sense. So again, thank you, Justin, for that. Now, moving on to the last doll of today. Because these dolls are so special, especially these two, that I just want to focus on them today, and no other dolls, except that one that I showed you. Now, this doll I've also thought about getting for a while. The Neptune one I always wanted, so one of these days I had a feeling I'd get it. But this one I really hadn't seriously thought about getting it until recently. I don't know when exactly, but sometime in the last year I started, that's a nice doll that I didn't ever get, and I was seeing some good prices on it, so I thought, you know what, it's come down in price, and I really would like to get it if I can. So, this is the outer. I showed you the shipper box. Well, actually, maybe I didn't on that one yet. The shipper box, just like the other one, has that brown, sturdy box. But the box it comes in is this one. And, it's a gold you know, almost mirror-like one. And then here's the back of the box, and here's the front of the box. So, yes, this is, if you guessed Gold Jubilee Barbie, this is it. Now, this is from 1994, Timeless Collections from Mattel. Of course, made in China. Everything by then, I think, was pretty much mostly being made in China. Now, let me try to pull this one out. It's definitely got to be careful, or again, you're going to rip the outer box. You know, the shipper is nice. The outer box is not so sturdy, or it's rather thin. So let's carefully pull that out. But it's nice that they have that. Now again, I don't remember how much this doll sold for originally, and she definitely has a stand because that's the first thing my hand touched, the bottom here. So here she is. Now this, I recently saw this in a video from Jack, who, you know, I interviewed a few videos ago from the Dolls Witness, and he has a whole video on Carol Spencer designs, which is really good, like so many of his videos are. And that made me think about it again when I watched that. And then I found this for the cheapest price I had seen up till then. I think it was right around $56 to $60. $56 to $60. I think that's a steal for this doll. Again, the jewels on this doll's design, her hair, she's got the rooted eyelashes. She's very, very pale. Now, the only thing I would have liked in this is if they did a ethnic version, like somebody with dark skin. I mean, I'm not saying a particular ethnicity, but just another version, because I think that would have looked even better in this outfit. But it's really cool. It's a really cool doll, and I hope to one day, when I do have to sell it, years from now, I hope, that I can get at least that much back for her, which I would think she would go up in value. I don't know, maybe right now she's down in value a bit, but let me give you a closer look at her face and her earrings that you see. They've got almost like, you know, an ornament ball or a Christmas ball type thing on the end. And then, of course, you know, things like this, again, the poofy sleeves. I guess maybe poofy sleeves were still a big thing in the early 90s. I don't honestly remember. Inside is this color, which kind of surprises me. I think that's the one thing that I think could be better about this, is that there be a different color on the outside. There is a hint of that color in here, and maybe it's just shining through, but I don't know. It's probably something on here. So, in general, don't get me wrong, I don't think they needed to change anything, but if they were going to change something, that'd be the one thing I would say. It's just another hint of some other color, and I mean a consistent color through this. Because the one that's here, which seems like a lighter version of this, a very, almost a hint of it, it's not quite enough. And so, it's a bit monotone, and I think that's okay, but I just think that, my personal opinion is that would have improved it. I'm no Carol Spencer, and I'm not a designer, but everybody should have their opinions at least. At least I know I do. And then this dress here on the inside part, I mean, because of course she's got this jacket-like part here that goes all the way up. But the inside, I want to open that up and show you more. You know, it's very 90s with the pattern on it, and I mean, this is just very ornate and decorative. So now she does have a ring, this little gold, you know, just a little gold dot ring right here. And again, her face, I think it's a nice face. I also just noticed the hair pieces in her hair. And this is especially nice. I think that makes it even better. So I wonder if Carol, when she did a design like this, just did the whole thing on her own, or she worked with other designers for parts of it. I'm just curious. Like, did the same designer design the outfit and the jewelry, or was it possibly two people? Does anybody know that, by the way? I'm just curious. And her shoes, let me grab her shoes that dropped. And I mean, they're in this little packet, but the tape came loose and they fell out. So, of course, they're gold shoes and they're heels. And I just think she's a really great doll. So, what do you all think of these? Which of these three is your favorite doll? I would have to say the Neptune one is my favorite of the three. But, you know, I have to go back to this doll for just a minute for a doll that, and this is why I say on my videos a lot that I just don't buy many current Playline dolls, fashionistas. Once in a great while, I'll see one that I like and buy when I get a good deal. But I mean, now that they're especially even more than $10.99 a lot of times. But when you can get a doll like this for $10, I would just so much rather do that. Or, you know, I saw one of her in the box that recently was looking at before I got this one that I think was like opening bid was $11 and buy it now might have been $16.99 plus shipping, of course. So, you know, you could get one of these in the box for $25 or less. To me, I'd just rather do that at this point than buy more fashionistas or, you know, swimming beach type dolls that have their bathing suits painted on type thing. But anyway, I just think she's so pretty and so ornate. And I think that would be the theme of today's video is 3 very ornate, jeweled Barbies. And again, I'd like to know which one is your favorite, so let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. Share the video. You know, by liking that helps the channel and the algorithm, so I'd appreciate as many likes as possible. And I hope to see you next time on Barbie Dolls of the Week. In the meantime, have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.